them all what I'm made up. Strut down the hall, won't stop till I get enough.
Sometimes a story pops up about presidential matters that just makes you stop and think, wait, really?
Absolutely. Like this one. The idea of a foreign government potentially gifting, well, a whole jumbo jet for presidential use, it's unexpected.
It really is. Sounds almost like fiction.
Yeah.
But that's what seems to be on the table, or at least being discussed.
And it immediately brings up this fascinating mix, doesn't it? You've got international relations, the practical side of presidential travel, and then these big legal and ethical questions layered on top.
Exactly. So let's dive into it. We're talking about a potential gift, reportedly from Qatar.
A specific plane, right?
Yeah.
A Boeing 747-8. That's a serious aircraft.
A very serious piece of kit. And the idea seems to be long-term, it would end up in the Trump Presidential Library.
But the really intriguing bit is the suggestion it might temporarily serve as Air Force One first.
That's the part that catches the eye, yeah. Now, this information comes via CBS News, and they're building on some earlier reporting from ABC News. So our mission today, really, is to try and understand what's actually confirmed here. What are the different viewpoints? And maybe most importantly, what are the big questions this whole thing raises?
Right, because you, listening, might be hearing this for the first time, or maybe you've seen headlines but want to get past the noise.
Let's unpack it.
Okay, so starting point, the timeline. This whole proposal, it seems, came up near the end of President Trump's first term.
Right, that context is important.
And now, as he's starting his first big international trip of his second term 4 days, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, this idea of using the Qatari plane, it's sort of resurfaced in discussions.
But, and this seems critical, the plane isn't actually ready to go.
No, not at all. Our understanding is there needs to be, well, pretty extensive security checks, looking for spying devices, that kind of thing. Needs to be done before they'd even consider accepting it.
So even though the timing seems to line up with this current Middle East trip,
he won't be flying back on it, that's clear.
Okay, that clears up the immediate logistics then. It's not like a quick handover on the tarmac.
Definitely not.
And we have heard from Qatar's side, Ali Al-Ansari, their media attaché here in the U.S.
Yes, he confirmed something is being discussed.
He did. He confirmed the potential transfer of a plane for temporary use as Air Force One is being looked at between their Ministry of Defense and the U.S. Department of Defense.
But he was careful with the wording, wasn't he?
Very careful. He stressed it's still under review by the legal teams on both sides. No decision made. Full stop.
And he specifically pushed back on those earlier reports suggesting it would happen during this trip?
Yes, he said flat out the plane will not be gifted during this current visit.
That's a crucial clarification. It shows how many steps are involved here. It's not just a simple diplomatic gesture.
No, you've got defense ministries, lawyers.
Yeah.
It's complex.
And interestingly, there's apparently another offer, a separate plane.
That's right. Mr. Al-Ansari mentioned Qatar has also offered to donate a different aircraft directly to the U.S. Department of Defense.
Okay, so that's separate from the potential presidential one.
Entirely separate, yes. Different plane, different recipient. And just like the first one, that donation also isn't happening during this trip. It's also under review.
So 2 potential plane donations, both kind of in a holding pattern, pending legal checks, nothing imminent.
Exactly. Now let's look at the White House response. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt put out a statement.
What did she say?
Basically, assurance. She said, any gift given by a foreign government is always accepted in full compliance with all applicable laws. Standard, but important to state.
Sure. And transparency.
She emphasized President Trump's administration is committed to full transparency on these things, which, given the scale we're talking about, is a necessary thing to hear.
It really is. That phrase, full compliance with all applicable laws, is key when you're dealing with foreign gifts to a head of state.
Definitely.
Ms. Leavitt also gave some context for the president's current trip, didn't she? Framing it.
She did. She talked about strengthening ties, referenced the 2017 Middle East visit, President Trump's peace through strength strategy.
Right.
And the goal for this trip, she described it as fostering a proud, prosperous, and successful Middle East, focusing on cooperation, commerce, cultural exchange, defeating extremism, setting the diplomatic stage, essentially.
So that's the backdrop against which this potential plane offer exists. Diplomatic engagement.
But it hasn't gone unnoticed politically back home. Not at all.
No, I saw Representative Richie Torres has gotten involved.
Yes, the Democratic representative.
Yeah.
He sent a letter to the Government Accountability Office, the GAO,
Asking them to investigate.
urging them to investigate the potential acceptance of this plane. He's raising concerns.
And what are the specifics of his concern? It must be the scale of it.
It's largely the scale, yes.
Yeah.
He pointed to the estimated value around $400 million.
Wow.
And he described it as potentially, and this is his quote, the most valuable gift ever conferred on a president by a foreign government.
That figure, $400 million, it certainly makes you pause and think about the ethics, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And Mr. Torres is pushing for concrete action from the GAO.
What exactly is he asking for?
He wants an immediate ethics review of the Qatari gift, and also a formal advisory opinion on whether accepting it would violate federal ethics rules and, crucially, the emoluments clause.
Ah, the emoluments clause. Okay, maybe just a quick reminder for listeners.
Sure. It's part of the U.S. Constitution, basically designed to stop federal officials from taking payments or gifts from foreign governments without Congress explicitly saying okay.
So Representative Torres is basically asking, is accepting a gift this huge, even if it's for later use or a library, actually allowed under the Constitution and ethics laws?
That's the core question he's raising, serious legal and ethical flags.
And it really highlights the difference between, say, a ceremonial vase and a state-of-the-art jumbo jet worth hundreds of millions. Diplomatic gifts happen, but this is different.
It's on another level entirely.
It really forces you to consider what rules and checks are in place, or maybe should be in place, for these kinds of extraordinary situations involving foreign powers and top officials.
Okay, so let's just pull the threads together here. What have we got?
We've got this potential donation, a Boeing 747-8 from Qatar.
Right. Intended maybe for temporary presidential use, then long-term for the Trump library.
But critically, it's still just potential. It's under consideration. Legal reviews are happening. No decisions made.
And definitely not happening right now during this current trip.
No. And this whole thing has sparked scrutiny, particularly from Representative Torres, raising ethics concerns and questions about the emoluments clause.
Yeah.
What strikes me is the sheer complexity behind what might look like a simple offer. It's not just, here's a plane.
No, it's layers of defense talks, legal reviews, security checks.
Exactly. It really shows the intricate dance of international diplomacy when something this significant is involved. There are so many hurdles, legal, ethical, practical.
So here's the thought to maybe leave you with as you process all this. Think about the bigger picture.
Okay.
Regardless of whether this specific gift ever actually happens, what does an offer like this, of this magnitude, from a foreign power to a U.S. president, tell us?
What are the broader implications, you mean?
Yeah. For international relations, for presidential conduct, for transparency, potential influence.
Yeah.
What questions does it raise for you about how these things should work?
It definitely gives you a lot to think about, doesn't it? The intersection of diplomacy, money, power, and ethics.
It certainly does. Something to mull over.
Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have the ball. I'm sweet like a buttercup. You're Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.